a young boy who slayed the god and became a king called Campione. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I will show a power-packed recap titled Campione. Spoiler alert, watch out and take care. Godou Kusanagi traveled to Sardinia to deliver a stone tablet given to him by his grandfather back to the real owner. He was by the train station when he met Erica, a knight of the Black Copper Cross, and she recognized the stone as grimoire, and she requested that he gives it to her. She attempted to fight him for it. A boar was summoned by a god named Verethragna. At first, Erica called her maid, Ariana, to drive her away from the boar, but it followed her closely, so she decided to fight it. She couldn't defeat it. While Erica was fighting, Godou ran away from the boar and bumped into Verethragna, who asked for the tablet, looked at it, and gave it back to him. He coincidentally walked towards where the boar threw Erica down, and he saved her. She asked him who owned the grimoire, and he told her it belonged to Lucrezia. They both attempted to take a train to return the grimoire, but there was no train, so Ariana drove them. When Godou saw Lucrezia, she looked so young. She asked him if he wanted to have a taste of her body, and he refused. She asked him to protect and take care of the grimoire. She told him how it was used and the power it entailed. It was based on the book Prometheus, and it had the ability to capture the power of the gods. They went back home. Erica was drunk, and she asked Godou to take her to her room. She asked that he undressed her, which he did. As he attempted to leave the room, the door closed him in. He stayed there overnight. The next morning, while Erica was angry, Godou stayed with her. She saw the cloud was about to throw down heavy rain. She went out and saw Melkart, another god. She set out to fight Melkart. Godou had learned from Lucrezia about the 10 incantations, so he followed Erica to fight. They met Melkart and Verethragna in a duet. Godou used the tablet to create a shield for them. When Verethragna brought out the golden sword to fight Melkart, he fought Verethragna and stole the sword. After defeating Verethragna, Godou and Erica kissed. A week after, Godou dreamt of meeting Pandora, the mother of all Campione. Campione is a demon slayer, and since Godou had slain the greatest demon, he was the newest Campione. Pandora gave him the title of Campione. When he woke up, he met Erica beside his bed. When his younger sister Shizuka met Erica, she asked him how they knew each other, and Godou said she was an enemy who just became a friend. But Erica claimed they were in a relationship. When he got to school that day, he was lost in thought. His friend told him there was a new Italian girl. The girl turned out to be Erica. She announced to the whole class immediately that they were in a relationship, and all of his friends turned their back at him. Leaving the class angrily, he bumped into Yuri, a princess shrine maiden who called him king. She took him to Toma Amakasu, a member of the committee for the compilation of true history. Toma told him they sent Yuri to him because they wanted to get into contact with him. Toma warned him about Erica. Getting back home, he thought about Toma's words, that Erica was a knight who always used to seduce men. Toma believes Erica is only friends with him because she wanted him to join her group. Coming back from his thought, he saw Erica beside his bed and confronted her as to what she wanted. She asked that they spent a day together. She took him to Italy and showed him the representatives of the Magician Society and asked him for a duet to show his power. Upon seeing his ability, the representation entrusted him with a medal. Erica told him she had never been ordered by any superior, as she's a woman of pride. She told him she was with him because she chose to be with him. Yuri was told by Toma that a disaster had been brought to Japan, and it was Godou who brought it. He said he needed her to get closer to Godou and get to know about this disaster. That day at school, Erica and Godou played the power couple position. Athena, a goddess, knew the power entailed in the medal given to Godou. She came to Japan to find it. Yuri met with Godou and asked him if he knew anything about Gorgonian. He said he didn't know what that was, and he won't even hold any stone again. When he got to know it was the medal, he gave it to Yuri, who insulted him for being unconscious of what was happening in his environment. Yuri explained to him that the medal holds the curse and prophecy of Princess Alice, and told him that if it gets to Athena, it would cause disaster. Erica met them talking and asked Yuri to check the medal and know what Athena was up to. They saw that Athena was already making moves, so Erica and Godou went to stop Athena while Yuri goes to seal the medal. Athena kisses Godou and rendered him incapacitated with poison, so Erica had to fight Athena. She held her down for a while. Liliana, one of the Knights of the Bronze Black Cross, wanted to take the Gorgonian from Yuri and challenged her to a fight, but Toma saved Yuri. Godou woke up about 3 hours later. Erica told him they have to stop Athena, and he was the only one who had the power to. He had to use the gold sword, but the sword couldn't be used unless he knows the history of the person he wanted to use it against. Erica commented that if she had to say the history verbally, it would take her about 100 days. So she kissed him and communicated the history through a kiss. Godou broke the kiss in the middle when he figured Athena was already making her moves. Toma asked Yuri how the plan was going. They noticed the prophecy was almost coming to pass. There was already a starless sky. Athena visited the shrine. Godou and Erica were in the car when Yuri called that Athena was on her way. Godou asked Yuri to think of him and he would come to help her. He continued kissing Erica to transfer all the histories. Athena got there and fought Yuri, although Liliana helped her out, but their powers were too little to Athena's own. She took the medal and changed to her old form. During the transformation, she oozed out the wind of death and incapacitated Yuri. Godou arrived, he brought out the golden sword and healed Yuri. He asked Athena to give up and go, but she refused as she wanted to fight. Erica kissed him, thereby transferring the remaining history, and he started the fight. He used all of Athena's history against her and defeated Athena. When he exhausted the power of the sword, Erica sent a sword and he defeated Athena. Rather than killing Athena, he asked her to go back to where she came from. The next morning, he was eating with his sister when Yuri and Erica came in. Yuri called him indecisive and selfish and asked that he leaves Erica, but Erica also dragged him back to the chair. Yuri had a vision about Liliana and a champion named Vauban. She thought about the vision and hoped it doesn't come into actualization. Her sister Hakari teased her that she was in love with Godou, but she denied it and went to school. Getting to class, she met Erica and Godou displaying love in class. She was embarrassed. She approached the both of them and warned them they weren't behaving like nobles. During the game time, Erica challenged Yuri to play baseball, despite that she knew Yuri couldn't play. Godou taught Yuri how to play, although Godou got injured in the process. After the game, they all sat down to eat, as Yuri invited them all to eat her food. Erica advised that Godou follows Yuri to buy a phone after school because Yuri would need a phone. After school, Yuri followed Godou to buy a phone, and she bought the exact phone Godou uses. He kept his number on her phone as they both went their separate ways. Getting home, Godou received a call from Salvatore Doni, a Campione he had once fought with. Doni told him Vauban, the great Campione, was in Japan, and he should fight with Vauban so he may become stronger. Godou rejected the offer and ended the call. Yuri was having her bath. Her phone rang, she set out to pick it up, but Liliana interrupted. She took her to Vauban. Vauban told her he had been bored, and the only thing which could have entertained him was Athena and the starless prophecy. But since the prophecy didn't come into realization, he reminded Yuri of the god she risked her life to save, and told her she now belongs to him. Liliana served Yuri and took her to Vauban. Vauban asked her to help him invoke a god, but she refused. She said her responsibility was to protect her people, and she can't invoke a god. So Vauban sent her a pack of dead armies to fight her. Toma commissioned Erica and Godou to defeat Vauban. Getting there, they met several hindrances, but Erica asked Godou not to use any of his power, because the person that would fight was very powerful. So they defeated all the armies on the road. Liliana told Yuri who Godou was, and she commented that all the kings enjoy fighting. But Yuri defended Godou and said he wasn't like other kings. Getting to Vauban, Erica manipulated him by saying that Salvatore was a close friend of Godou, and he had asked that the old Campione would retire. Vauban expressed that Salvatore was the one who stole his last god. He released Yuri to them on the condition that they would hide her for 30 minutes, then he would come to chase them. In the car, Yuri asked that they leave her alone so she can sort herself out, but the duo refused. When it was 30 minutes, Vauban sent a pack of wolves, but Erica defeated them. Meeting with Erica and Godou, he sent armies of the dead. Godou called forth the white stallion, but Vauban turned into a werewolf and swallowed it. Knowing they would soon lose, Godou took Yuri away with a raptor, while Erica fought with the armies. Watch out for part 2 of Campione. I'm sure you enjoyed this part. Kindly remember to subscribe to our channel so you can get notified when we post part 2. See you next time.